Central, and for many locations it's not a very good morning across West Tennessee, as a killer tornado or two has impacted West Tennessee. Here in the Jackson area, we've had devastation in the downtown area. 4 people have died in the overnight hours because of a tornado that has plowed through the downtown area, and there has been substantial damage, as you will hopefully see this hour during Good Morning West Tennessee. The current status on schools this morning, we have the following situation as far as the school openings and closings. The closings in particular, Jackson, Madison County school systems will be closed today. No school today in Henderson County. Weakley County schools will be closed as well. Dyer County school systems will be closed. No school at USJ today. Also, Henry County school systems, you are on a 1-hour delay. Now, that's the status that we have as far as schools are concerned. As far as shelters are concerned, those of you who have maybe been displaced due to the damage from last night's tornadoes in the downtown area, the Oman Arena is available for you to be able to use. In the Lexington area, the Civic Center has been open for those of you needing shelter from the elements and being displaced from damage from tornadoes as well, and storm damage last night. Let's go right to Storm Sentinel 7. Let's bring you up to speed about the current situation. We have no warnings in effect. However, the Storm Prediction Center has all of our viewing area under a tornado watch until 11 o'clock this morning. I'll show you the areas in question just quickly. This is all of our viewing area, including the counties in West Tennessee, West Middle Tennessee, I should say, and for Alcorn and Tishomingo County in northeast Mississippi. Right now, all the severe weather that has been operating is going on in Middle Tennessee right now. We'll take off this particular graphic and we'll bring in the radar and show you that we have some strong thunderstorms on radar across the area in 2 primary areas, and we'll visit those quickly, but none of these are severe at this point in time. With the fact that the tornado watch is in effect across the area, these thunderstorms are going to have the potential of becoming severe, so we're going to have to monitor these very carefully, and you will as well. As you can see, we have strong thunderstorms from Waynesboro back over towards Savannah, and this thunderstorm cluster, although not severe, is of course putting down some very heavy rain and vivid lightning potential, and of course some small hail. But again, this is not a severe cluster of thunderstorms, but does have the potential of becoming so. It's actually had a history of being severe over portions of the area as it moved over Hardeman County and portions of North Mississippi. The southern end of that storm actually had some tornadoes being indicated by radar. It does not at this point, but nevertheless it's pretty respectable as far as its intensity is concerned. And another potential is going to be some heavy rain associated with it, so there could be some urban flooding with this particular cell as heavy rains are being put down by it. Now let's back out, let's regroup, and we'll look back up toward north central Tennessee, where we're seeing a cluster of thunderstorms on the Obion County and Weakley County line right over the Union City, Fulton, Martin area. You can see this thunderstorm has several areas that are potentially strong, and we're talking about along the Kentucky line over toward Fulton, from about Latham over toward Fulton in the Union City area, and then extending south into the Martin area. We'll take you into the heart of this storm and show you that the strongest activity appears to be actually to the south of southwest of Martin, pretty well along the Highway 45 east, north of Sharon. So that's where the strongest cell. Again, this is not severe. However, it does have the potential of becoming severe, and we're going to be monitoring it very closely. Let me put this into motion, and I think you'll see that we're trying to pick up the potential development of additional thunderstorms back to the southwest of this. You can see that there may be something trying to develop right in that particular line there as we see it extending back into the Dyersburg. Again, 4 people have died in Jackson, Madison County area because of the storms. There has been 1 fatality also in the Dyersburg area from last night, and that is what we have as far as the current status of fatalities. There is a state of emergency that has been declared for Madison County, including the city of Jackson, because of the major tornado that has struck the area from the overnight hours. And there's a curfew in effect in Madison County, including the city of Jackson, until 7 o'clock this morning. So that means in the downtown area of Jackson, you're going to be unable to get in there, and it looks like that the crews of law enforcement agency, JEA, and City departments are busy about restoring power, about making at least a path to get through some of the damaged area, like along Highland and the like. That ongoing work is progressing in the city downtown area of Jackson. And we'll show you those areas again. We're talking about primarily the downtown area, which of course would be in this particular vicinity. Now, there has been other damage, of course, across the area, and we'll kind of highlight those for you as we back up on Storm Sentinel, let you watch some of this progress of the storms. We'll bring you up to speed on the fact that, of course, there was a confirmed tornado in Paris Landing. We had wind damage in Weakley County, Latham in particular, wind damage, some trees and power lines down in around the Gleason area. Also last night, wind damage, trees down, car moved by the wind, large TVI towers are down in around the Dresden area with possible funnel clouds, and that was earlier in the evening. So this has been impacting not only the Jackson, Madison County area, but several areas overnight. And again, a state of emergency is in effect with a curfew in effect in place for the downtown area of Jackson until 7 o'clock this morning. Again, a reminder about the school system situation, and that is that the Jackson, Madison County schools are closed. If you're just joining us, we'll remind you about that. Henderson County closed, Weakley County schools are closed, Dyer County schools are closed, USJ will not be having classes today, and the Henry County school system is on a 1-hour delay. Going to skip over to the other weather source, and we're going to bring up a regional radar view, and we'll show you how this progress of storms from last night moved out of West Tennessee into Middle Tennessee. And then we've had just a smattering of some storms developing back to the west. You can see across Arkansas there, moving into West Tennessee, and that's what we're dealing with even right now. But again, the Storm Prediction Center, that's the current watch placement, the watch boxes that you see. Virtually all of Tennessee under a tornado watch, and the immediate area, western Tennessee into North Mississippi, we are seeing a tornado watch until 11 o'clock. And folks, we've been under a tornado watch since about, let's see, I think around 7 o'clock last night. So we're running close to now the potential for about 15 hours of a tornado watch across West Tennessee and North Mississippi. So we're not finished yet. Say again, please, Vanda. Okay, we've got, thank you, we've got the live truck, I think, set up, so we're going to be able to go in town, Jackson or nearby, and some of our Good Morning West Tennessee crew is in the city, and we're going to have some live shots of what may not be a very good sight at all.
Good morning, Eddie. I wish it was actually a good morning. Of course, a lot of devastation in downtown Jackson due to the storms that blew through last night. We're standing down here on South Highland. It's hard to describe actually what devastation we do have. Buildings destroyed, roofs off of buildings, just very chaotic. Everyone's just in awe this morning of the storm's devastation. Of course, the storms blew through late last night, and we do have some video of that that you can see here. Dave Meekum, if you'd like to kind of explain what we're seeing here. Of course, this is downtown Jackson last night.
And it's this is what we shot through the night. I'm telling you, as day has broken, it is so emotional down here. I am floored. People are floored by just exactly what took place. These are night shots, and boy, with daybreak, it's even worse. That's a shot right there of Pringles Park. Not as much damage there as we've seen here downtown. And it looks like we've lost what we were there. We're back to us. But Vicki, as I was saying earlier, just a horrible, horrible sight here. You can see behind us. It's just really something. It's a terrible sight. The hotel, the old Southern Hotel, all the way to the top. It didn't just do its destruction on the lower levels. You can see all the way up to the top of the building. The windows are all blown out. Everywhere you look, you can't believe what's happened down here. It's unbelievable.
Of course, Dave, as you know, this is the heart of the city, and downtown Jackson had just seen a large millions of dollars in renovation just a few years ago, and now I believe we do have this video up if you'd like to. We're looking there at the Card
Sure.
Quest and
you
downtown
can see,
Jackson.
the trees are broken. There is the old Franklin Records building. Terrible shape, terrible shape. And then coming up here,
Of course, we have tree lines down there, old Franklin Records building. Of course, trucks tossed around like they were toy trucks, U-Haul trucks. I passed a couple of big semi-trucks turned over on my way in around 4 o'clock this morning, but just tossed around actually like toy trucks. Here we see, of course, the old Southern Motel building, and just total destruction. That we had we're just now kind of getting over the tornado that we suffered some 5 years ago here in Jackson. It's really heart-wrenching to hear of the fatalities and to come down here and see this devastation. Of course, Jackson is not the only area that was hit last night, and we do have other areas. Of course, Dyer County was devastating as well. TEMA has reported 1 fatality thus far in Dyer County. We did have a crew there last night, and we go now to Kita Nicholson in nearby Dyer County.
Is it okay? Yeah, it's hard.
I've heard and seen one drop close to Unionville, but it's just been one tornado right after another dropping here.
Shortly after 9 o'clock, storms ripped through the area, flipping several mobile homes. TEMA officials say the fatality was a resident of Barker's trailer park.
What I seen there, I didn't see any fatalities at all. Just there was one child that was just scraped up, and there was another older guy that something fell and hit him in the back. That's what we've seen so far up there.
As you can see, homes were stripped from their foundations, power lines were down, trees were uprooted, windows busted, but the main concern in the community was for those they loved.
When they called out for all the volunteers to come down to Station 1, I was on my way there and run into the trailer park and seen what had happened, and I stopped there and just started helping search through there.
And what all did you see at the trailer park?
Oh, there was trailers that had been picked up, moved, thrown 25 to 30 feet. Most of them turned over. There might have been 10 left that wasn't touched.
We got a call that the trailer's being demolished, and we've had gas lines that have been twisted off, and the guys have come out, and we've got under trailers and plugged them off and turned them off, and hopefully we've got them all right now.
Okay, we are back live in downtown Jackson. Of course, that was Kita Nicholson in Dyer County last night. They also felt the brunt of the storms. We're joined now by Jackson City Councilman James Wolf. James, this is not a very pretty sight to wake up to on a Monday morning, is it?
Unbelievable. I've been up all night here, and God, I can't believe this, man. I was a part of the 99 storm, and then this 99 just does not compare to this one, Vicki. This is really horrendous, and we've got to pull together on this, and I'm going to be pulling out chainsaws today to try to get this done. I want to remind folks it's debris in the streets, and you can get flats. I'm on flat, so my building has great damage done to it. I said, oh, God, and the tower's down, and, last year in 99, I worked with others to try to restore and to get back, but we all have a lot of work that we have to do. We all must pull together here and make this thing happen here. I've just not seen it like this before, Vicki. This is incredible. Years ago they always said that tornadoes would never hit Jackson because of the way we were seated geographically on I-40, but and we had one that happened somewhere in '76, and since then we've had revisits of tornadoes and all, and this is just major here. And when power will be restored here, I just really don't know. I just tell you, I just really don't know. But it'll be a long time before we are back to normal in the city. But we all have to really pull together on this, and this is a horrendous situation here. Yeah, it really is. Yeah.
Absolutely. We are, of course, getting reports of fatalities in and around Jackson and in the county areas as far as, and also other counties, West Tennessee counties. As you mentioned, the devastation is much worse this time, especially in the heart of the city. I think almost every building, of course, coming through in the dark, it was hard to tell, but now that, as you say, daylight is here, almost every building in downtown Jackson has sustained damage, from major total destruction to, I know, like the brand new City Hall that just opened its doors a short time ago. The roof is gone. The federal building's roof is damaged. Total destruction behind us here with the the buildings behind us, the Aeneas building, and just as you can see, piles of bricks. It's something like you say, Mr. James, we're all going to have to pull together on this. Millions of dollars in damages and lives lost.
I tell you, the velocity of the winds must have been incredible, and the force of the winds here in West Tennessee. I just can't imagine how. And the New Southern building, every window gutted out, And last night, when I was walking, I was trying to help, and I saw things, and I said I was trying to do and assist people and all, and I had no idea. And so when I went to rest and try to sleep in my bus, because I didn't have power at home and power in the building, so I cranked the generator up in my bus, and I said I would sleep there. I got there and saw this devastation in my place. I said, good Lord. I said, oh, God, I have a real problem here, and I just don't know when we will probably be on the air. But when you talk about being back to normal in the city here, I looked at one of the balls over here. One of the balls is cast away from, been moved from this beautiful monument here that we have over here, and I saw the ball over there. But that's just, it's just hard to imagine a transfer truck, the transfer trucks being lifted like that, God, this is just phenomenal, But I just want to make sure that we all pull together here. I've got a chainsaw. I was going to bring my chainsaw out, and I will get it out, and we're going to do what sawing we have to do. And I was going to put on my gloves this morning, but God, I don't know what to really say, but to tell the folks that to please stay in, because again, there's debris in the streets, and there's something that can damage the tires and all, and I'm already on flat, and it's going to be a while before you can really drive safely in the streets, and the flooding is a problem too. And so I think the street department, they are working real well in terms of manning gas lines and stuff. They got all that under control, but still we have some water problems in the city. But we're going to do what we can. We're going to try to, at some point, get some bottled water to take to the crews, and we urge everybody that who's driving by to pick up some coffee, because it's going to be a long day, it's going to be a long night, and it's going to be a long week. And I just tell you, elections is the first thing for my mind today, because I just can't imagine that such huge trees uprooted. And then I'm a trustee of Mother Liberty CME Church, and I was there first, and I saw that. I was, oh God, the only thing that's left is the face of it, the original face. So
such an old building.
Yeah, and the Lord left the face of it, because now since it was built in 1872, that allows for us to, since we have the face of the building still left, that we'll be able to maybe apply for some federal funds and grants to make it a historical site, and maybe to do some repairs and bring it back. But we're just grateful that the Lord has allowed the facility, the face of the facility, to be remaining and all, because that was built by former slaves and all. But it's reduced to rubble. I was meeting with the pastor this morning, I guess somewhere around 1:30 this morning, and we're all crushed behind it, and we have places I know we'll be able to meet. I've offered my facility for the church to meet in, so I don't know whether we'll do that or not, but I can tell you, Vicki, that my heart goes out to all those who have lost lives, and for those who have lost properties and all, and we're going to do whatever we can to help them to readjust and to get back to normalcy in the city of Jackson here. I want everybody to join with us in praying for the victims, especially the families and all, and those who have lost property in the city of Jackson, Tennessee. And whatever we can do to help, I'm just looking forward to working and to getting back to where we were.
Councilman James Wolf, I do want to thank you so much for stopping by. Of course, your building has sustained damage. Yeah. Many of your constituents' buildings and homes. As you said, it's going to be quite some time before Jackson can even begin to think about going back to a normal routine. Just so much devastation in downtown Jackson, the heart of Jackson. Millions of dollars in damage. Lives have been lost. And as you mentioned, even some 5 years ago when the other tornado came through with its amount of devastation and deaths, and we built this memorial, it actually has been hit by the tornado, and as you said, some of it has actually the spheres that represented the people lost here in the city rolled across the street. It's really bringing it home in so many ways, the tragedy of what storms can do.
You know, I was on the board of the West Tennessee Red Cross with one Hart, one at Stansfield, and also with the Salvation Army, working with them last. I was on both boards, and so I ended up in the last storm working with both boards last time. So I said, well, I rolled off of both boards, and so what I'm going to do, just take it on myself, just get busy here and do what I can to help. And poems, believe it or not, preservation of East Main Street Society sustained those old homes over there, historic homes. God, it's just so sad, you know. It is so sad. Yeah.
Once again, Councilman James Wolf, thank you so much, and we will be talking to you as we go, and hopefully, like you say, everyone working together. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we're going to toss over to Dave Meekum, who is also with me here in downtown Jackson. Dave?
As we were telling you earlier, up in Dyersburg, they were hit really hard last night. So we're going to take a look at some video about that. The video you're about to watch trees down in the parking lot. They're, boy, not pretty sight. The top of the motel was actually ripped off, and there was heavy lightning and quite a storm. It was a horrible sight. People who were there inside the motel say they're just happy to be okay. I'm not sure if you're seeing that video right now or not.
So when we looked out the window, we actually saw a funnel cloud coming in our way, so we quickly rushed in to get shelter, and at the same time the whole house, basically the hotel, just exploded with the glass flying everywhere, debris flying everywhere. It only lasted about 5 to 10 seconds, but we all got shelter, and you know, thank God all of us were okay.
Okay. Well, we're going to turn to New Bern right now, and is this the ghastly cash shutdown? I'm sorry, this is hard to do. A ghastly cash shut down the ERMCO plant, is that right? And employees say the storm was quick to do its damage there.
One of the guys had just pulled up before I got there, and as he pulled up around the corner going into the plant, the trailer trucks was turning over. The cloud, he just passed evidently and blew the trailer trucks over.
Do you want to see?
Okay, that, of course, surrounding counties affected by the damage of the storms that blew through. Of course, downtown basically destroyed, where so many buildings. Right now, we're going to take a look at the buildings here in downtown Jackson, the damage that came through here last night, and of course, what we're seeing here is in New Bern. The winds continued their trek of destruction. As you can see here, the winds flipped over the U-Haul truck over in the parking lot of the IGA shopping center. So definitely New Bern, like the rest of West Tennessee, and definitely here in Jackson, from devastating storms. We are coming to you live from downtown Jackson. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back in just a few minutes. Stay with us.
And now, first weather.
Bring you updated on the very latest information from the 7 Weather Central. Let's go to Storm Sentinel 7, and we'll show you that we do have some ongoing thunderstorms. We have one severe storm that is currently working, and that's southwest of Memphis, and this storm is a severe thunderstorm, and it is there's a warning in effect for northern Tunica County until 6:45, and this is going to be passing into the southern portion of the Memphis metro area with the potential tornadoes, damaging wind, and of course the potential for the large hail. So we're not finished with this just yet. We're under a high risk for severe weather across all of West Tennessee and North Mississippi through the day today. And so unfortunately that's going to add the insult to injury across the area. Now I'm being joined by Wanda Stanfield with the Red Cross. And Wanda, just kind of give us the Red Cross perspective on what is a devastating morning.
Well, currently we have open shelter. The main shelter is at the Coliseum here in Jackson. We have close to 100 residents there at this time. There are shelters opened in Lexington at the Civic Center, and the Woodman of the World in Beach Bluff. There's a shelter operating there, as well as East Union Baptist Church. The roads are still severely impacted, so as soon as they're cleared, then we'll have our damage assessment teams to go out and begin assessing the homes.
What about transportation for folks to be able to get to these sites?
We're working with the fire departments to try to reach the residents to get them transported to the shelters.
Okay.
And also through the police department and the sheriff's department.
Okay, that's great. Well, we appreciate the work that you all are doing. I know you've got your hands full.
We do, and our communications are out at the chapters, so we'd like to put a plea out for all of our trained Red Cross volunteers to please show up at the chapter, that we need their help.
All right, we'll try to keep that word going for you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Wanda Stanfield with the Red Cross, and we're going to go back downtown, Vicki and company downtown, bringing you the very latest of the damage downtown.
Thank you, Eddie. Of course, the blue skies are breaking through the clouds now, but it's just we're better able to see the devastation in downtown Jackson due to the storms that blew through last night. It's really even hard to explain what you'll see in downtown. Of course, what we're seeing here, this is Main Street video. You can see the Dodge store on North Royal, of course, just around, not too far from Channel 7 studios when the storms blew through last night. Just a small inkling of what the storm's damage looks like. Of course, we have the Jayco's area, the Jayco's Music, and also so many buildings. Of course, the library, the Madison County Library, such a familiar sight to so many people. You can see the trees, the fallen trees there on Main Street in downtown Jackson. Almost every building in downtown Jackson has sustained some type of damage, from total devastation, as you can see behind me, the building that housed Aeneas and some of the other printing shops here in Jackson, totally, at least this corner, the southeast corner, destroyed. And then we have just every building in downtown Jackson has sustained some type of damage, from the federal building to the new Chamber of Commerce building. Total, just amazing. It's hard to explain what it looks like. Millions of dollars in damage. We are going to take a little break here, and we'll be back in just a few minutes. We're live in downtown Jackson.
Is in effect for northern Tunica County and pushing into DeSoto County as we speak, and so this is the storm in question right here south of the Memphis area. We do have some thunderstorms developing, looks like along the Weakley County, Gibson County line as it's pushing to the east, but the other activity that's the strongest is down around the Wayne County area, where there have been some severe thunderstorms for Wayne County. Now, I will mention to you, and we'll go to the other weather source. Let me show you that we have a high risk of severe weather today across the area, and this is going to be not only in the daytime hours, but into the overnight hours. Now, this is the highest level of risk that the Storm Prediction Center will put out. And as you can see, that encompasses much of West Tennessee. A moderate risk outside of that. That's the highest level we've seen this year so far, the moderate risk. But now we've got a high risk of severe weather today, and the threat today is damaging wind, hail, and tornadoes. So we're not out of the woods. In fact, the National Weather Service indicates in what they put out as a hazard alert, a hazard outlook, if you will, that there is a potential throughout this week for periods of severe thunderstorms. So that's not good news, as we are going to be just in a continual mode of keeping you updated. A tornado watch is in effect this morning for all of our viewing area. If you can hear me or see me, you're under a tornado watch until 11 o'clock this morning. And so we're keeping close eyes on all these storms that are on Storm Sentinel 7, and we're going to be watching them very carefully. And of course, anything that becomes severe in our viewing area, we will immediately break in and bring you the very latest. We're going to take a time out. Our time now is 6:37, and more of Good Morning West Tennessee will return.